Merry Christmas. You're watching the Gaggle of Geeks show, Santa's favorite show. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Please be advised, Gaggle of Geeks contains strong opinions that may contain language unsuitable for young children. Now here are your hosts, Patrick Beatty and Chaz Campbell Evans.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
It's Chaz and Pat. We're talking about Mandalorian. What is up, my Gaggle of Geeks, and welcome to another episode where we're going to be talking about a lot of shit that went down, a lot of spoilers in this. We will make sure to give you a warning that I have crafted and curated myself today. Mandalorian just wrapped up its season, and we have some reviews that we're going to talk about. We've got some news, and we have a exclusive look inside of Tom Cruise's trailer during his freakout during Mission Impossible 7. And Chaz, let's start off with first, how are you doing, man? Welcome.
Dude, it's Friday. I'm doing well. I don't know. This week wasn't too bad. It didn't feel as chaotic as this year has been. And this morning, I did watch The Mandalorian and I cried. So I think that kind of changed my outlook on today, where I'm like, today's going to be a great freaking day, you know? So
I was telling Nat that, so when I was really little, well, not really little, probably around like the point where I could do crunches and be upset about there not being any gains from it. I used to lay down and look at my flubby stomach, and I would be so upset that I would just start hitting my stomach because I hated how I looked and how I felt. And today might have changed everything. No more.
No more?
I think people will start safely social distancing. I don't think Trump was going to have influence on anything. I think the vaccine, everyone's going to take it now because we got something pretty freaking amazing this morning.
We did. It was very unexpected too. I didn't know how it was going to go, but we're going to dive into details, like you said.
Yes,
so
but first, let's talk about this Tom Cruise business, because this was exclusive. It got leaked that on the set of Mission Impossible, few of the crew members just were either not wearing a mask, walking around, not following social distancing, and Tom Cruise really went into them Terminator style. Like Christian Bale Terminator style. It was intense. I think people have left from the set. Like, people have quit their jobs from Mission Impossible.
No shit.
And yeah, I want to get your thoughts because you listened to it as well. What do you think about Tom Cruise's kind of intense reaction to this?
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I know. Here's the thing. A lot of people are trying to tie into like his Scientology and his like personal life into it. I'm like, okay, fucking whatever. Yeah, he's crazy. We get it. Whatever.
Sure.
But here's the thing. We've been like, what, 9, almost 10 months into this pandemic since it's been declared officially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Film sets have these very strict protocols, especially Hollywood. I mean, like, Hollywood is just like to a T. Mission Impossible 7, I think, is like one of the only big budget films filming right now due to that. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like this long into the pandemic, we should know what the protocols are. And here's the thing, too, is that from my understanding, this isn't the first breakout they've had with COVID on the set. This is like the third or second breakout they've had. And so, dude, as a producer, because he is a producer for the film, he was at one point the head of Paramount, right, or something like a high position in Paramount Pictures. Like, yeah, the dude fucking knows business. He knows what the outcome is going to be if they have to shut down. It's losing money. It's not like willy nilly, like, oh, we could take a couple days off. No, dude, like every day that you take off is fucking money. And
money.
And a lot of people are saying that, like, oh, he can afford, he can afford to cover their costs or whatever. But that's not the point. The point is that these people are being irresponsible after 10 months of being a pandemic. They should know the protocol. That's what the whole thing is. And it's not like he fired them on the spot. He's just giving them a very strict warning and putting them in their place.
How do you get a job here, there fuckface?
That's essentially, that's essentially what it was. And so let me ask you a question real quick. Just real quick. What would you do if you were being berated by Tom Cruise?
Well, I would first shit my pants. I think that'd be the first step to take. And then from there, I would just kind of stick my hands in there and I would smear it on my face. I don't know what I'm saying. I would freak out by this. I think that Tom Cruise, his freak out is, first of all, warranted. I would say warranted. Sure. Like, it's kind of like one of those situations where, like you see the head quarterback of a football team freaking out of the team because they didn't do something. That's what it felt like to me. It didn't really feel like he was like, I'm about to stab one of you. It was very much like, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. If you don't want to follow rules, don't be here. And if you're still doing it by the time this conversation's done, you will be out of here. Like, that's essentially how he said it.
Yeah, it like you said, the football comparisons, I think it's actually a very fair comparison, because like if you see Tom Brady freaking out at his team during the Super Bowl, like from us viewers, we're like, dude, that's intense. You should probably calm down. That's not the right way to approach it. But like, given how much practice was put into place, how much preparation is there before the game, before the big shoot, right? I mean, this is how we're comparing it, is like before the big game, before the big shoot. Like, there are so many protocols you have to follow. There's so many guidelines you have to follow.
Everyone has one singular purpose.
Right. And I mean, this nails into the fact that like each position on the film set, no matter how minimal outsiders might view it as, it's essential to the industry. Like if the PA gets COVID, the whole production gets shut down. It's not like, oh, you take the day off. The whole production gets fucking shut down. So, dude, like you said, warranted. I know you made some funny comparisons with Tropic Thunder with it. And by the way, congratulations on your win with Matinee Heroes. Oh, but like it's funny because you guys did that the day. Was it the day of the freak out? Like when the news broke?
Yeah. Because I remember specifically Craig calling it out that day, like during the cast off. I don't know if it was the after the fact, but I got to take. You know what? I'm gonna sound off. I'm gonna sound off right now about this cast off business, because here's a shocker, people. I don't think I should have won.
Whoa!
I don't think I felt dirty after winning.
Dirty?
And here's why. So if anybody hasn't watched these, this is our plug. Go check out Matinee Heroes Cast Off. Watch season 1. You can catch up with season 2 and see what the rankings are and stuff. It's actually really fun. You cast your movie, give yourself a dream cast, and you battle it out against a competitor, and some judges select, and you go from there. I was lucky enough to be the runner-up, but the reason I was the runner-up is the exact same reason I won for this round. And I didn't feel ethically okay about it when I lost. So why would I feel ethically okay about it when I win? You know, I can't be a mob wife and just put on my mink coat and be like, hell yeah, I'm the winner. Even though I just saw some bloke down the street get shot. I don't think that was the situation. But here's what the deal was. So essentially we both had the same actor, but put in different roles. Now, my humble opinion is, if that were the case and I were to see that and I was like judging it, I would tell whoever put in the name second to change the actor, to give them a chance, because if not, then the judges are put in the situation where whatever person they pick for that actor, they automatically cannot pick for the next, or it will steer like they shouldn't pick that. I've never seen it happen where they've picked the same actor for different roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel that automatically takes away from his pick, when really he could have just been like, pick a different one. you know, or he wouldn't have been clued in on what happened or not.
Yeah, well, and
I feel like a fake. I'm a fraud.
now because like here's the thing,
I took my mink coat.
both of you guys had solid picks, just period. Like I mean, both picks would have fit those roles perfectly. But yeah,
Well, it was
I don't
Nick
know.
Cage as Tug Speedman, and it was Nick Cage as Kirk Lazarus. Both things like are disappearing roles for him, and something Nicolas Cage could definitely do.
They were solid. Those are both
They were
solid
solid.
picks. Like,
They definitely, which is why I was even the more feeling like I cheated this poor man, Casey, who's been on the show, Metal Geeks. Check him out. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that, but what we do have to kind of tie off the Tom Cruise thing, we have exclusive footage from inside the trailer, Tom Cruise's trailer. One of the PAs had come in and witnessed it firsthand, so we get a firsthand reaction of what one of the set people were able to see. Let's go ahead and roll it. All right, cut. That's it for today. Go ahead and reset for tomorrow. Great job, everybody. Yes, I've got the cookies. Tom's special cookies. I'm going to his trailer right now. Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz, got your special cookies. They always have the nicest stuff. Is he watching Battlefield Earth in the background? My goodness, Tom.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us! Because they believe in us and what we're doing! I'm on the phone with every studio at night! We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again!
My God, Larry!
And if you don't do it, you're fired! And I see you do it again, you're gone! And anyone on this crew does it! That's it! And you too, and you too, and you! Don't you ever do it again! It's not gonna put food on their table! I'm beyond your apologies. I have told you, and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out! Is it understood? If I see it again, you're
I'm sorry, man.
so are you. So
I'm
you're
sorry.
gonna cost him his job. And I see it on the set, you're gone. And you're gone. That's it!
Some powerful stuff.
it is powerful stuff.
Why is he watching a Scientology film just in past? Well, I guess we know the answer.
Yeah,
How do you think things would have gone if he was yelling about that? I've got through 3 cycles and I'm about to reach a level 4. None of you were even there.
dude, I have to. Speaking of Tom Cruise, just real quick because so last night I watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time.
Ooh, nice.
And I didn't know. Number one, I didn't know it was a Christmas film. It is considered a Christmas film. It's like in the vein of Die Hard.
Okay.
Hey, they go Christmas shopping at the
Don't
end.
you
man.
fucking hate me. Hey, you.
Hey, but there's a funny review that I found on Letterboxd that reminds me of the Scientology. Ready for this?
Yeah, tell me.
Nicole Kidman. Actually, women have sexual fantasies. Tom Cruise. No, that doesn't add up. I need to go join Scientology now.
Oh my God.
So I thought it was funny.
Tommy. What? I hope that no one else gets verbally accosted and they've learned their lesson.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I actually admire the amount of appreciation they have for their craft. Him and Belle, I mean, both were different circumstances completely. I mean, Belle was freaking out because the director of photography was in the line of sight, whereas Tom Cruise is freaking out because there was a COVID outbreak. So definitely different circumstances, but they're both passionate about their craft. But they don't want to waste time. Essentially, is what it is, and I think that's a great application to put to work. I mean, because when you are on set, you are working. It's not just horse playing around, So
Yeah.
by all means, like as you said, warranted.
Yep. Well, let's move in because we've got. I think the rest of this episode is basically just going to be reviews. Like we're just going to be talking about a bunch of shit, and so for that reason, I threw on the intro for the Patrick Beatty reviews intro. So we're going to start.
It's Patrick Beatty reviews, the #1 for news. It's Patrick Beatty reviews, #1 for news. Yeah, tune in, get up. Yeah, what's up?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
And so timely to have the Home Alone soundbite on.
That is timely. That's a good thing.
It is Mando talk, and that immediately means I'm pressing the spoiler button. Guys, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, and I don't have the brain capacity to try to hide it or mask it. It's just what's going to happen. So this is your final warning. If you do not want anything spoiled for Mandalorian Season 2, get out now. If you've been here and you want to talk about this, you've been waiting for us to, and you're sick of this Tom Cruise bullshit, then we are here to talk about... Ready? Luke Skywalker. Holy shit.
Wait, I thought it was Jar Jar Binks.
You mother...
You motherfucking accuser! You motherfucking accuser!
God damn you. No. So we need to break this down. This is The Rescue, the season finale of Mandalorian. It starts off with basically Boba Fett and everybody heading to Bo-Katan to basically request assistance. And you get a little back and forth between Bo-Katan and Boba Fett, which I absolutely loved. I loved that they almost had a Tony Stark Captain America vibe with him being like, aren't you? He was like, my father had this armor, and she's like, don't you mean your donor? Like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and her
dude, there
being
was,
like, I've heard that
shots
voice
fired.
a million times before. You aren't a Mandalorian.
Dude, that was like shots fired. I was actually really surprised by how cool Boba Fett kept. He's like, and then he
Boba
kept
Fett's
calling her
awesome.
Well, he kept calling her princess, like trying to egg her on, you know. I was like, damn, dude, like, how do you keep your chill? Instead of being
By
like
being in a Sarlacc pit digesting for 1,000 years. That's how you keep your chill.
well, it's like instead of being like Baby Yoda chill, you know, when he's meditating on the rock from was it 2 episodes ago? 1 episode ago, 2 episodes. I don't remember when it was.
2.
Robert Rodriguez's episode, yeah. Being that chill, then you go to Boba Fett chill, where he's like, "Look, princess." Like,
Yeah.
it has like such a Western vibe to it too, dude. I did love the interaction. So
Yeah. I love Boba Fett as a whole. We'll talk about where he ends up going at the post-credit scene of The Mandalorian Season 2. If you guys didn't know that there is a post-credit scene for this that you're definitely going to want to watch.
yeah, turn the credits back on. If you thought you finished the episode and you just turn it off right as it said directed by or whatever, like go back, watch the credits, #1, because it like huge congrats to the crew for pulling that episode off. #2, huge fucking teaser.
Yep, absolutely. And it tells you some of the people that were involved behind the scenes that, yeah, you might not have known was being involved, especially the director. I was really surprised that this was Peyton Reed. Were you
I was
surprised that this was
too.
Peyton Reed?
I
Like,
was.
Give him credit. I will give him credit. I don't like Ant-Man, and I don't like Ant-Man and the Wasp. There, said it.
I like those, but like I didn't know that he had this in him because that does not
Neither.
It doesn't feel like the same vein at all. Like it
No.
just. I thought this was John Favreau. So
No banana peel slips, nothing. Like
Nope.
he was straight. He was straightforward with it.
and I believe it's the
Bo-Katan.
longest episode too, right?
It felt short, but that probably was because I just wanted more and more and more.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan is going, though, because Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. Now she's got a direct tie to go and take it from him and start to head to Mandalore to rule it, right? Because that's her inevitable goal, where she's
Yep.
going with it. So they have to board a, I don't know which class of ship it is, but it basically Emperor Palpatine's ship, right? That style.
Did they say it was a speed ship?
Might have been a speech, but either one. The one that Emperor Palpatine comes out of at Return of the Jedi, right? So I did not know that a tiny ship like Boba Fett's can dock onto another tiny ship. That was actually really cool. It's always been like we're being beamed onto like an Imperial starship, and it was never like we're going from one ship into another one, you know?
Dude, so during that docking scene too, I mean, the way the shot is set up is that we see it through the captain's window, if you will, of Boba Fett's ship coming in front of them, like going above them, essentially.
It's two captains, and then you have the Camino health dude, the guy that was doing his tests on
the scientist dude.
Grogu.
Yeah. Well, like that shot though, like I didn't realize how big that ship was. Boba Fett's ship is, because we always see it from afar, you know, like it's iconic, whatever. But like seeing it, like
yeah,
like,
when it just went straight up,
it just
oh
keeps
my
going
God,
past the
so
window,
good.
dude. I was like, oh my God, that's a huge ship. And then, like you said, the docking. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it was able to dock. I wonder how that ship docks though, because the only way I know
they didn't show that for a reason. They're just like, and they get aboard. Moving on.
Told me, so whatever. I'll do it with my imagination.
Mm-hmm. And I loved this interaction between Cara Dune and one of the officers who claims that he was on the Death Star. To which Cara Dune replies, "Which one?" And I loved it so much. Such a good burn. And then him being like, "I saw what happened on Alderaan," like basically just taunting her, you know, like go home and all that crap. They end up taking him all out, and the plan is Boba Fett is going to be a pretend aggressor going after this ship while they try to dock inside of this cruiser. It's not a cruiser; it's something else. I'm going to get branded by Star Wars fans. I'm going to put out some like Camino tattoo right in my face. But yeah, they get aboard Moff Gideon's ship by basically pretending that they need assistance, that they're trying to get in. And he does not buy it for a minute. He's watching this shit. He's like, no, stop it. Get TIE fighters out there right now. They don't go after the speeder. They go after Boba Fett. And Boba Fett, right before he leaves, just like, pew, pew. And it just blows both of them up and just sprints out.
What I was gonna say is that like when he's shooting at them, he's purposely it feels like he's purposely missing and just like it's slow. But when he shoots at the TIE fighter, it's just like you said, like really like rapid.
1-2
like,
shot.
Yep.
All it takes, and then just light speeds out. They slam through right before another TIE fighter is about to be deployed through the spaceport. Slam straight through. They go out guns blazing, and I'll be honest, this is one of the scenes where I was like, God, this is so hot. Like I loved every minute of all of these female bounty hunters, fighters, just wrecking ship, literally just destroying everybody. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. So like when they walked out, I'm like, okay, is Mando in there with them? You know, like is he part of it? Because it looks like the Mandalorians have a similar shooting style, right? So like it's such quick cuts and they all look kind of similar with all the smoke going on. And I was like, okay, is Mando in there? Then I realized, oh shit, no, because like you said, they have a different plan essentially where they're the distraction and he goes behind them essentially to save Grogu. But
not to save Grogu first. It's they need to dismantle these death troopers or these mega death troopers that are all robotics, which is really funny to me. Did you find that bit interesting where they were like, these are class 3. We realized the humans were the problem, so the answer is droids. When in the prequels they were like, we realized the robots were the problem, so we used humans instead. It's like, pick a lane, people.
All that did to me was it kind of raised questions because this is before the First Order, before Kylo Ren becomes, you know, Ren, or Snoke for that matter.
Still Ben.
Yeah, he's still, yeah. And so, I mean, at the time period of this, he's probably like, what, 4 years old, 5 years old, like during this time period. But, I mean, we saw how powerful these stormtrooper droids, if you will, were, right? But seeing from the recent trilogy, we don't see any droids being stormtroopers at all. So I wonder, it raises questions of like, is there something wrong with them? Like, why did they not go with that sort of?
It could have been kind of like a first of its kind thing. Like these were the demo models, and they got rid of all the demos. So now they're like, well, that didn't work. And now that they know that it's not going to work against a particular character, why would they even try it?
True.
Right?
True.
They'd be like, oof, well, that didn't work. But it almost worked against Mando. We get this awesome scene where the time is just running. Mando's got to get to the place where they're being activated and booted up. Which, again, so funny that, like, there's just these little annoyances with all this stuff. Oh, well, they need to boot. They need to power up. They take too much power. And By the way, that power, it's just punching. Like, these droids don't do shit. Like,
Well,
they're like really sophisticated. They do so much more than stormtroopers. What do they do? Well, they hit. They punch real hard.
I mean, dude, if Mando didn't have his Mandalorian armor on, his head would be crushed in within the first punch. Like, that's kind of what they were showing. And I'm like, just seeing like you said, though, like, it's interesting seeing how much he struggled with them.
Yeah, well, because he gets the door shut, but just before one of them gets out, just one, to show the force of how brutal these things are when it comes to just fisticuffs, and is just decking Din Djarin in the face. It's damaging the ship's outer hull, like he's about to be blasted out of space just by the helmet hitting shit. And it takes his Beskar spear stabbing him straight through the head to even get the thing to power down. Other than that, he was screwed.
Yeah, because like I want to bring the scene back up a little bit later when we reveal another character, because there's a great comparison that I want to kind of do. But yeah, I know, right? Teaser. Stay tuned. In like 10 minutes,
well, it's a spoiler
maybe.
show. We could talk about it. Or should we move forward and then you'll find it?
Let's move forward and we'll find it. Let's move forward
Okay.
and we'll find it. But like you said, though, like he does release them into the space, except for that one. Mm-hmm. He kills that, and then he finds our dear baby Grogu.
Yes, at the sword, the dark saber of Moff Gideon, right above his head. Like
Moff
Gideon knew. He
I'm
knew
just
all
that
of
right
this
now.
shit.
Gideon's such a fucker.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I loved is that might be another throw to Grand Admiral Thrawn, where he was like, every move you make, I'm gonna know this. You know, like, you're not surprising me with anything. You ain't that slick. I got the dark saber right at this little shit's head, and poor Grogu. I was just looking at him with the cuffs. I was like, get the goddamn cuffs off of him right now. I don't know what kind of rage builds up in you when Grogu is harmed, but boy, it makes me really feel like I could attack something.
I mean, okay, should we go through the moments that he was kind of harmed? I think the one that the first one that sticks out to me.
Can we talk about all the violence?
Oh, the first one that sticks out to me is from the first season when that stormtrooper punches him relentlessly through the back.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And at first, I'm like, it came off as great.
Before Cardi B, that was the WAP.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
And before, well, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, that came off as very comedic. Right, I thought it was. I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked up. Like, what am I supposed to like? I feel kind of mixed about this. But then the second season takes it further and actually shows him in actual danger. Where it does give you anxiety, and you're just like, dude, don't you fucking punch him? It's like they set that up, like, because we saw that they will harm him in some way, and we know that like they'll cross that boundary essentially.
Yeah. So
seeing Moff Gideon with the darksaber, like, you know, at the head of Grogu, like, it was anxiety.
Yeah. Well, he had a plan. He tells Mandalorian, I really have already done everything I need with Grogu. I have his blood. I have all the stuff I need. You can take him, but I don't want to see your face again. Just get the hell out of here. Don't talk to me. And like, Din's like, I just want the kid. That's all I want. He gets Grogu just as he's picking him up. Gideon ignites the darksaber and just goes to town all over the Beskar armor on Mandalorian. He's ushered out of the cell room where he has to get the staff, and we get the thing that we've been looking for since the Mandalorian got that staff, that there was going to be a saber fight between him and Moff Gideon, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm kind of on the opposite end of that.
Joe.
Just because I thought it was gonna be more climatic, because like we saw, like I thought Ahsoka's fight with who was leading who was in charge of that town essentially before they got staff back,
Thrawn's person. Yeah,
I thought that fight was a little bit more intense than Gideon's and Mando's, and
well,
so
this was an appetizer. This was a little sampler for what was to come.
Yeah,
they couldn't make this fight better than the other.
Sort of true. I only said because I thought, because like they're alone in the hallway, I thought it was going to be really fast. But I mean, dude, Gideon kind of gives up really quick. I mean, he's defeated within like a minute and a half. Like, there's no.
Oh yeah.
And what I thought was cool was that like when the Darksaber connects with the spear, it like kind of like resonates like very hot, and like it just kind of like goes along it, right? Like where it could burn his hands.
It like Wolverine's claws against something that has like a ton of friction, where it's not bending it, but things are molten. Like it's about to get to that point.
Yeah, and like we didn't see that with Ahsoka. Like granted, like we didn't see that. Like this is how powerful the Darksaber is. Essentially, is like it's able to cause that.
It
a
can cut
lightsaber,
through anything. They make a point to say that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, but like there wasn't like enough action between the two, and Gideon didn't really feel like a threat at that point. And it was leading up to that, so I kind of felt like it was kind of downplayed a little bit, so it wasn't as badass as I thought it would be. But regardless, it did showcase how powerful both characters were in that sense.
And while this is happening, Bo-Katan and her crew have already taken down the entire deck. Like
Correct.
Everybody's gone. The troopers have been sucked out of an air vacuum, and from this point, Gideon is being ushered in basically at the hands of Mandalorian, who is now holding Grogu. Seems like things are going the right way, right? No, because it turns out robots are a good thing if you get blasted into space, because all you got to do is fly your ass back. Here comes a huge fleet, like a crap ton. And Gideon basically is like, you guys are idiots. Like, I've already won. It's over.
Yeah, but then here, okay, he tries to kill himself too.
We can't get there yet.
Oh, is that? I mean, it's kind of in the same art or the same act.
It happens at a very specific moment that I wanted to call out. God damn it!
Oh, we'll save that then. We'll save that.
Okay, so it's very quick because I think this is just where it happens, right? It
Fight
seems
for
like
it,
there
yep.
was a lot that happened just before, but as they're sitting there awaiting their doom, the troopers are barreling in through the spaceports. They are coming after them. It seems like all hope is lost. And but then an X-wing.
Well, hold on. Before you get there.
What do you mean? What else is there between that?
Because you brought up the fact they punch.
Oh, you're giving the fans blue balls.
I know. This is on purpose. This is for purpose.
Blue milk balls.
Oh man, that's a reference.
Yeah.
You're talking about how they punch Mando, right? Whatever, dude. They're punching their way through the fucking metal door, which reminds me of Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon Jinn's kind of cutting through the door, you know, to get to the.
But again, these stupid things only know one. They have fire. How do they get into the ship? And they just don't use that. They don't try to melt anything. They're just like punch. Dude,
that's what I mean by
they're like the. I'm gonna make a horrible reference because I've not played the game. They're like the people in Cyberpunk, right? Where it's like you can't do shit. You just keep not doing the things that you could be doing.
If we're gonna go there, I refunded Cyberpunk because PS4 was nice, or Sony was nice enough to allow us to do that because the game is broken. But I was gonna say it's more like Age of Ultron, where Ultron seems like he's all powerful, and then he just has little minions do stuff for him. We never see him actually utilized in that sense.
They don't feel as utilized as they could have been.
Exactly, and that brings me back to my question: is like, why did Kylo Ren not use that prototype? Because they do seem like more powerful than the average human stormtrooper, in that sense, and they seem smarter than the fucking droids that we were, introduced to in the prequel trilogy. So
I think I have an answer for that.
Okay,
I think it's because right now we're in a faction with the Empire. It's not just the First Order is rising. You have Moff Gideon doing his thing. Right. You have Grand Moff Tarkin somewhere doing his thing. You have something to do with Snoke. Palpatine, unfortunately, has to be involved at some point and is in there. So there's a lot of different factions. There's a big possibility that this was just Gideon's idea. Like this was just his own special thing he decided to do, and the rest of I don't think there's a lot of communication other than if he has somebody higher up than him. But I don't think Gideon really said that he did.
But what?
There was no reference or hint that Gideon is taking orders from someone else. I don't know if you got that, or if you noticed anything.
I don't know, man. Because why would he take Grogu in the first place if they know how powerful he is? That has to come from somebody, and they have to test his blood for something. Here's what I think that something is. Can I go there real quick?
Yes.
Rise of Skywalker, spoilers, Palpatine's cloned. How's he cloned? We don't fucking know. However, maybe Grogu has something to do with that because apparently he's this prized. He's more prized than Anakin Skywalker was, is what it feels like at this point. So I wonder if that has something to do with it because they do have his blood sample. So I wonder if they're going to tie that into essentially how Palpatine comes back to coming back into power.
Well, let me speculate further with the Carl Weathers episode.
Ooh, okay.
So in the Carl Weathers episode, we go into this foundation or this area where it turns out where the Camino person was working on Grogu, and you see in a little tank some weird Snoke body type thing. You know, you see a hint at something. My idea is maybe they couldn't get enough out of Grogu that they could have at that point, and so it was kind of like a half-assed job at a Snoke, like the jar of Snokes that we saw in the tanks at that one thing.
No wonder he's all ugly looking.
Jay says, "Hello, geeks." Hello, Jay.
Buddy.
I hope we didn't spoil anything for Mandalorian for you, bud. You did great, by the way, on button mashing this week. Please go and check out that show. I think him and Nate work very well together, and I'm excited to see more of that. But moving into my theory, I think that what the idea is for now is they've already sent this blood to wherever that planet is. What is it? What's that stupid ass planet called? Fuck, Chaz. What is that stupid Palpatine?
Exegol.
Exegol. Oh, I hate that so much. Sounds like icicle, and it's a lot of snow in there.
Dude,
hold
look
at all these relics of Sith Lords that we'll never find out about. Oh,
hey! It's been recently confirmed from the art book, the production design.
Oh, that just makes me hate this so much more. Oh my god, it just makes me hate it so much more. Well, if you look in the canon in this book that no one's going to reference and no modern audience is looking at,
Revan Malak,
see the answer to your questions that you asked in the movie.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that to an extent. I didn't hate Rise of Skywalker as much as
this episode made me hate it more. I'm being real.
Did it
be like?
Because I thought this episode was gonna make all the Last Jedi haters kind of be like, "Oh my god!"
It made me love Last Jedi more.
Did it? Okay. Before we go there,
can we get into it now?
Yes. Let's get into it.
Now it's green milk balls. It is not now. Now all of the fandom looks like that monster's titties because those udders are just sore and red and pussy, and Luke's here just squeezing on him and chugging that milk like a weirdo. Let's talk about the X-Wing appearing when all hope is lost. And I built that shit up and then you totally stopped it. So I'm doing it again. We have our heroes in dire need of help, of assistance. All hope is lost. These death troopers are about to break through at any moment, and the hope of the galaxy with Grogu, him possibly being able to move forward, it might end right here. And Gideon is giddy with excitement. But looking through from the deck's windows, observatory, you see an X-Wing go in. Someone asks for his call sign. No answer. X-Wing just slowly creeps up in. Now, I want to ask Chaz, did you know right then?
To be honest, I did not.
Really?
I did not.
No even hint, no inkling of like, could it be?
Could
it be?
There was a could be because of the X-Wing. And here's the thing. It did a huge throwback to, I think, Phantom Menace in a way, where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan board the Separatist ship in the very, 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 very beginning.
Okay.
Where they're all fucking hooded.
Up.
Exactly. And they're all hooded, right?
What's that voice? Hooded they were.
But I did think, I'm like, okay, but then I thought, would they really go there in the second season? Right.
Well, we see security footage, which they do in black and white. and you see a hooded figure slashing up people with a lightsaber. You don't know what color yet, but it looks like it's a dark cloak. The idea is maybe it's Ahsoka. Maybe she showed up. A part of me was like, it could have been because the hood seemed pretty big. But then, coming into camera is a green light. Fuck you, is a green lightsaber. Quit stopping me. Quit stopping me, you son of a bitch. Is a green fucking lightsaber in the glove of a robotic arm of Luke goddamn Skywalker. He made it, people.
Okay. Backtracking just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because they tease it a lot.
Luke Skywalker shows up and he kicks ass. I'm just kidding. You can tell me. What was it? I'll take myself.
Okay, no, because here's the thing. So when they're showing the footage, right? And like you like you said, it's the dark cloak, the dark saber. They show the green lightsaber, but the cuts are very quick. You don't quite see the glove. All you see is like quick cuts of a hand. There's like either a gloved hand or there's like a.
I saw the glove. You didn't see the glove.
You didn't. Like that's the thing. You saw what it looked like because they didn't shoot close up at all.
If you're a true fan, you'd pause that shit and zoom in hands.
Exactly. Here's the thing. It looked orange, like Ahsoka's. That's what I thought. I'm like,
Ahsoka's wasn't orange.
She's orange. What the fuck are you talking about?
The glove hand?
No. I'm just saying like the hand. Just like there's a shot of a hand, a couple hands.
And it looked orange?
It did look orange because it's so quick. It's from afar.
Nuts.
It's so quick. Dude, hear me out. My other thought was that it was probably Obi-Wan, but then I did the math in my head. I'm like, that doesn't add up because Obi-Wan's dead by then. But
you fucking thought it was Obi-Wan?
At first, but then
Dead
I thought
Obi-Wan from A New Hope? It's been decades.
Because they're teasing Obi-Wan Kenobi series, right? I'm like, oh my god, did they release this news right before?
You're going to get attacked for this one.
I know. Hear me out, though. So I thought it was Ahsoka. I personally thought it was Ahsoka because of the X-Wing. Okay, X-Wing, I thought, I can't explain the X-Wing. But I did think it was Ahsoka because maybe she had a change of heart because she did say, like, I can't do it, right? I thought maybe she had a change of heart. She's like, you know what, fuck it. This is a cute baby. This is a cute baby alien that I'm going to take under my wing and not let be a monster like my master before me. Because we see Grogu, when he's angry, he becomes like Anakin Skywalker, where he loses his rage, right? We see that in was it the episode with Robert Rodriguez directed? I think so. Fuck you, man. I thought it was Ahsoka. I didn't think it was going to be Luke. I didn't think Disney was going to have the balls for it to be Luke. But continue. Keep building up to the reveal of Luke.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you got to sidetrack our great narrating to guess somebody that it super wasn't. And there was no hints that somebody had orange skin on a black and white security camera or when it cut to him, because it really was just showing the black gloved hand. But
we also see Ahsoka cloaked up like that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay.
He wipes out all of these troopers. It is a sight to behold. And so many people have already put up comparisons of Vader in Rogue One in his hallway scene and Luke in his hallway scene, taking out all of these troopers and doing basically similar things with the Force. But you see differences. And I will quote this person that I do not know. It was a silent guardian on Twitter who very poignantly said that the difference in how the Force was used between Vader and Luke Skywalker is very interesting. With Vader, you see the Force aggressive. You see a lot of harsh movements, a lot of swipes, a lot of like aggressively using the Force against it. With Luke, everything was flowing. Everything was fluid. Everything felt like it was supposed to be. He was one with the Force. And you saw that. You saw that in his fighting. And it was incredible. I loved every moment of that.
Okay, I'm going to chime in.
When he crushes that droid just with his hand, just kush. Oh.
Here's what I love about it. So, on the record, I'm not a fan of Rogue One. But on the record, I love the third act of Rogue One. Vader added a lot to it. We see how terrifying Vader is. For once, we see how terrifying he is. What's interesting about Luke Skywalker being a part of the, being here before he's actually revealed, right? Is there's so much myth built behind Jedi from somebody who's not a Jedi, like the Mandalorians, just from an average viewer, right? And
Yeah.
I really loved the fact that it kind of contrasts Vader's idea of, slicing through people in a hallway, because it built this myth around him. Like, oh, this is how terrifying Vader fucking is. Luke in this scene showed, oh, Jedi are basically like ghosts. Like when they show up, shit's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Well,
fact
and you
that
see the look on Moff Gideon's face as
Moff
he's seeing.
Gideon and as well as Bo-Katan.
Mhm.
You see her where she even aims her gun. Like there's like this weird ideology about Jedi from somebody who doesn't know anything about Jedi, right?
Mhm.
And I appreciated that kind of viewpoint because it showed how badass they are in a sense. And I think it compares well, like you said, with Vader's scene, like father versus son. Like who does it better? It's the question.
Moff Gideon is so fucking terrified that he tries to kill himself immediately. Where it's like, nope, I'm out of it. I'm out of this one, which I loved because that shows that like he saw that X-wing and he's like, there's only one motherfucker that's gonna show up and start wrecking up all my stuff, and it ain't just a regular Jedi. It's the one that took down both Death Stars, that took out the Emperor. I'm out. This is over. Like I loved that part of it. And for them to stop it, he almost kills Grogu, and Grogu at this point is just sensing him. Like he senses Luke's presence the minute the X-wing shows up, and he knows that this is the guy coming for him. But there's a quick little turn to Mandalorian, to Din, a look of sadness that started to break me just a little bit, and then it wasn't until I was completely broke when the doors open and out walks Luke. He pulls his cloak down. Yes, it is motion captured. Yes, it's a face, digital face thing that they've been doing with Leia and previous Lukes. However, it didn't bother me this time.
It looks better than Rogue One.
Sure, we have a long way to go with this technology. We definitely do, and nobody's going to say differently. Like we definitely do. Even with the Irishman, there's a lot that could have been improved on, and that was basically the whole pitch of that movie, was to de-age people. So this de-aging technology, it isn't necessarily there yet in some points. However, seeing Luke, and I started tearing up. I was welling up right then. And I don't think I've ever felt... This was the crazy thing about this episode that made me love it so much. I felt like a kid again. I literally felt young again. I shot up out of the couch. I yelped. An audible yelp when I knew it was Luke. And I can't say anything else but just like pure joy. Like pure joy of seeing this hero that I've wanted to see for decades come back. Since I was a little kid watching Return of the Jedi, thinking, what could he possibly be like now? Where does he go from here? What could this Luke Skywalker be? We got to see the embodiment of that Luke, and I think that is what has satisfied so many fans with this episode.
Especially because it was set up, by the way, with Ahsoka saying once Grogu reaches this rock or whatever, if he connects with the Force, a Jedi will find him. Right? Mm-hmm. It didn't specify. It was very subtle too. It wasn't like in your face, like, oh, a Jedi's going to appear. And I believe I messaged you earlier today where I said I thought they were going to touch on that at all. Like I'm like, that's going to be a season 3 thing where we see this Jedi or whatever, because the first season of Mandalorian was a lot of side quests rather than the main story.
The Jedis are like DoorDash; they get there quick.
Dude, the second season. let me say this real quick. The second season was very much like maybe 2 episodes at most side quests, and the rest was like, hey, here's our fucking story, motherfucker. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried. I cried during his reveal because it's so much of seeing Luke. I mean, because that's great. That's fantastic. But it's what comes after that where I'm just like, oh no. Yeah. This is it. This is fucking it. And I will.
It was hearing his voice that really set me off, because it is voiced by Mark Hamill. That is confirmed. He was in the credits for this, and he sounded just like young Luke. It put me right back. Mandalorian looks to the Jedi and says, "Are you a Jedi?" Which is kind of stupid. Like at that point, you really don't know. Like you've only seen that lightsaber action like with one other person, and you know what that is. So he's like, "Are you a Jedi?" And he goes, "I am." And he looks straight at Grogu and really doesn't like make any small talk. Come, little one. And this is the point where Din is like, go on, go. And Luke says, no, he wants your permission. He wants your permission to go. And he brings up a very, very good point. If he's not trained, he'll never be safe. Like, if he doesn't have the basics of how to protect himself, there's nowhere he can go in the galaxy or the outer regions that's going to prevent somebody from finding him and abusing him. He needs to be able to be strong with the Force. So Luke is taking that on, hopefully to be his trainer. This might be his first Padawan. It could very well be. We don't know. And I don't know if they're going to explore it. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to bring Luke in a pivotal role for season 3. I'm not sure if Grogu will be in for season 3. I definitely think he will be for season 4, but I think they might take a little time, let Mando. We'll talk about where I think this is going, but the most heartbreaking scene happens where Grogu looks up a Mandalorian and he puts his hand on his helmet, and we all know that Din Djarin does not take his helmet off for anything. They've made it a point with Bill Burr's character in the episode before, talking about taking off his mask, and they've made it a point with the end of the first season with him not letting the robot take off his mask until finally they decided to. And Din just willingly takes it off. He wants Grogu to see him one last time. I had so many Return of the Jedi vibes with this. That to me was a direct reference to when Luke and Darth Vader had the unmasking of him. But instead of remorse and seeing what could have been with a relationship, they grow. The bond is just intertwined completely, and it just broke me. I was a sobbing mess once that happened.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember from the first season if Baby Yoda ever saw him without his mask.
No, he never has. He never has.
Very pivotal moment. That's actually where I broke. I cried. I guess holding up the tears, seeing Luke, right? I'm like, oh no, I know where this is going. Mm-hmm. But it's a matter of seeing it happen.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
The shot is basically, when Mando takes off his helmet and Baby Yoda touches his face. That's the touch. And I fucking, dude, I just let the tears come. I'm like, oh God, this is confirmation. It's not like bad. It's just confirmation that they're growing, like you said.
That's his dad.
Growing. Yeah.
That's his father. It's a father and son.
Seeing the tears in Mando's eyes, even, like it wasn't like direct tears, but like it's like holding back the tears. Like, fuck, he's letting go of his alien son, essentially.
What is Star Wars? More than anything else, what is Star Wars about? When it comes down to it, the bare bones, what is it, Chaz?
I would say loyalty and friendship and connection, just like the human connection overall.
God damn it. None of those were the ones I was looking for.
What were you looking for?
Fast and Furious has a connected tissue to this.
Whoa. Before you hold on. Okay, before you can bring in the Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Well, you started it, bitch.
Here, because the only reason I say this is because, here's why. Okay.
You interrupted me. Can I finish my thought? Can I finish? Yeah. Can I finish my thought? What is the connected tissue? You know it. It's what? It's all about family.
Yep.
It's all about family, man.
That's the human.
And that's what made this. That's when people talking about, oh, they shouldn't have put in Luke. Oh, now they've shrunk the universe with a Skywalker. Oh, it's always about the Skywalkers. It really wasn't. This was a father-son that had nothing to do with Luke. That still really doesn't have much to do with Luke, with their bond, their specific bond. I loved how they built this, how much you care about these two people and wanting them to be together. Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah, dude, it was
family, like Vin Diesel would say.
And it was
George Lucas has made a point to make sure that it's always about hope and always about family, and that's what Mandalorian brought.
Well, here's the thing: they show apprehensiveness with Grogu, right? I mean, he looks behind him at Luke, and by the way, there's another surprise spoiler: R2D2.
You fucked that up.
I did. I've had 3 drinks.
Wow.
R2D2. It
God
comes
damn
around the
it.
corner, and dude, they have a connection too. Like R2D2
Almost
is saying,
like R2's like, bitch, I seen you.
yeah,
I know where you're from.
He's going R2D2 style on him, where he's
Does a little-
for like
got my-
full 30 seconds, right? Uh-oh, what's Patrick doing?
He does this thing.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it so much.
For those who can't see, he's shaking his R2D2. Yeah. Yep. And dude, seeing baby Yoda Grogu watch R2D2 do this, it made me like, oh my god, can he understand droid language as well? Like R2D2's language as well, right? Because it seemed like they were having a conversation of some sort. Because
Maybe he saw him as a Yoda and was like, oh shit, another Yoda.
I don't know, because it seemed longer than it was necessary.
Let
seemed
me
like
ask you
a
this.
connection between
If
the
he
two.
knows Grogu, how complicit is R2D2 in the killing of younglings?
Oh,
Because was
very
he just chilling with him the whole time? Was he actually going with him? Because I thought he told R2 to stay in the ship.
He did, yeah. Okay,
All
fair
right.
enough. Okay.
From one fan to another. You got bested. Now
I got
let's
bested.
move into the closing part of this.
Wait. Let me ask you a
The
question.
doors close, and that's the end of the episode.
It is, yeah. I was kind of let down by that. I'm not gonna lie. I would have liked personally a little bit more, maybe a couple more minutes with Mando and what's her face? The other one, I forgot her name.
Cara Dune or Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan, because
we left out a part.
we left out a major spoiler. It turns out she knows who Grogu is. She helped raise him. Is that what Moff
Oh, that's
Gideon
not
said?
where I was going.
Oh.
Finish yours. What were you saying?
I was gonna say Moff Gideon reveals a lot of information about Bo-Katan. And there's this setup of like old school Mandalorian versus kind of new school, which would be, Mando himself.
He's in a cult, man. He's not new.
Dude,
He's in a crazy
I don't know,
cult.
because here's the thing. We forgot this too, is that he tries to give up the Darksaber to Bo-Katan.
That's the point I was thinking. Yep, you got it.
Okay. Take it from there.
Okay, so the Darksaber. Turns out there's a rule with this where it has to be won by somebody. It cannot just be given to somebody. And if you want to rule Mandalore, you have to conquer the person, take the Darksaber, and that's when you're able to rule it. We don't necessarily know if that means Bo-Katan has to kill Din Djarin. We just know that she cannot just take it from him. It's kind of a weird thing like wands with Harry Potter, where like the wand has to like select you, or if you win a wand, it can willingly go to you and choose you in that sense. Same with like the Elder Wand and how that works. So that's a setup for, we don't really know what Bo-Katan and Din Djarin's relationship is going to be moving forward.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of like, okay, could they have at least set it up a little bit more? Because they left that not only on a cliffhanger, dude, they left that like on a short cliff. It wasn't like a long cliff like where we see where it's going. It's just like, oh, hey, there's going to be conflict. Boom, fall off. And we're left hanging like, okay.
And she wouldn't take it. Like, she's like, I got to kill you or I got to fight you.
Exactly. Because it's funny you bring that up, because Jin did not kill Moff Gideon at all.
No, he's still alive.
He was able to take the lightsaber. So maybe maybe there's just like a simple battle between the two, because I feel like the two have a great respect for each other. But the thing that makes me kind of suspicious of this is that the fact she knew who Grogu was from the very beginning, as Moff Gideon reveals to Mando. And I'm surprised he didn't act on that sooner, because as a protective figure for Grogu, I would have called her out right from the beginning. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, what do you know about him? And
things happen so quickly in that
Yeah.
moment, though.
Yeah.
Like, it really compiles, because right after that point is when the droids show up. So not a lot of time to talk, but I agree with you. I wish there was a little bit more of a resolution with some of those character arcs, but in a very Empire Strikes Back kind of way, they leave a lot of questions on the floor. And even though it might seem like Grogu is going to be out for a little bit because he's getting trained by Luke, there's a lot to explore with Din Djarin, with the Mandalorian, and I don't think that we're going to be getting, just side missions going into season 3. I think we're going deeper and deeper into Mandalore.
I have a theory about what happens to Grogu, but we'll touch on that at the end.
Well, let's talk with the after credits scene, because we know that Boba Fett had just blasted off into some whatever place, But turns out that whatever place was Tatooine. And he is going to Jabba's old palace from Return of the Jedi. And when I saw that, I flipped out. I was so excited I never thought I'd be so excited to see that weird tentacle dude be there again. Now he's like half a Jabba. Like he's just gaining weight. He's got slaves and shit. He's just like, what's up? He's just chilling. Boba Fett shows up, Rex house, sits on the throne. Cut to black. The Book of Boba Fett is coming. That wasn't released with the Disney thing that we did a couple weeks ago or last week. They didn't announce that. That was a surprise.
Teaser. That's a teaser.
That's great. They're like, we're not even going to show the investors. And the investors are like, the fuck? Like, I wonder if they knew. If they like sent a text afterwards or something. But I'm excited for Boba the Hutt. Him being a crime lord. I want that, man. I'm so excited for this.
Do you think he'll be a crime lord, or do you think he'll try to bring...
He just took Jabba the Hutt's job.
Okay, but with that, you can still bring balance to the whole... He ain't
about balance, though. He's about getting what's his, no?
I don't know, man. What does he have left? Let's ask that question.
He's just gotten the throne. Like, he's right. He just, in one fell swoop, he did something that Daenerys Targaryen could never do. And there's a lot to go with that.
I wonder how exactly he lost his armor. I wonder if the Book of Boba essentially
is going to do. Oh, for sure.
Or how he lost his armor, how he survived the pit,
and what he's doing. What he's doing now.
That's been the biggest speculation: is how the fuck do you survive that pit with that giant monster, right?
How much do you want to bet Watto shows up?
Who?
Watto.
The Anakin's
is going to win.
Anakin's old slave owner.
Yeah, Watto's going to show up, man.
Dude,
you mark my words.
He looked like he was on his deathbed in like episode 2. So who fucking knows?
I'm into it. Give me Watto or give me death.
Because granted, dude, I don't know. I'm excited. Here's the thing too. Let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question.
Asking me.
Seeing how Luke Skywalker turns up and takes Grogu under his wing, do you think Kylo Ren slaughters Grogu and the Knights of Ren slaughter?
Because in the comics, which is canon with Star Wars, he actually is not. He doesn't kill anyone. But Palpatine puts it in his head. Well, no, Kylo has it put in his head that he killed younglings, but he never did.
Okay, but does the Knights of Ren?
The Knights of Ren are the people that he took with him, though.
I know. Do they
I was
kill
wondering
Grogu?
if Grogu becomes a member of the Knights of Ren, because we never see them with their masks off. One of them's teenage Grogu. You don't fucking know.
They're all fucking tall, man.
Hey, you fuck. Grogu might show up. Because as a Knights of Ren confirmed.
I don't know.
No.
And then here's the thing too. Do you think we'll see Yoda come back as a Force ghost, as we did with the Last Jedi, which is possible because we did see him in the Last Jedi? Do you think he'll come back and help?
Offspring, you are.
Oh no,
a bastard boy.
Not to him, but to help Luke train Grogu. If we ever go in that area, I don't think we will because de-aging. By the way,
Luke is going to end up training him though. Maybe it'll be another Padawan training him.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
A lot of people were hinting, if you've seen Rebels, that it was going to be Ezra that shows up.
See, and that I haven't seen Rebels. A lot of because the episode was hot today. I did talk to people who are huge fans of the Mandalorian Star Wars universe series franchise as a whole. They stayed up until late at night to watch the episode, or they woke up super fucking early to watch it with their family. Like that's how impactful the Star Wars franchise is as a whole. Like, dude, it's running people's lives, which I think is fantastic. But they were saying that when Luke first appeared, they thought it was Ezra. I didn't know who Ezra was. I'm like, who the fuck is Ezra? Like,
yeah.
Because as I was telling you,
because nobody thought they had the balls to do it. And
exactly,
then they did it.
Right. And as I was telling you before, I'm on the second season of the Clone Wars animated series. That's where I'm at as far as like where the universe goes beyond the mainstream movies, So I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know anything about Ezra. I don't know anything about Ahsoka other than that she was Anakin's Padawan at one point. And seeing her, I'm like, okay, I know who she is. Like, I have an idea, but I don't know her backstory, right? So I'm excited to connect all those dots and even pick up more Easter eggs along the way.
Yep. And really, where we're going with season 3, it can be anything. Like, there's unimaginable possibilities. I think maybe we need because I did not expect that we would end up getting an hour through on this and still be going. So I think we might need to be doing a separate episode just about speculation and where we're going with this.
Okay.
I think that overall, what was your score for this season? What was your overall thoughts on this episode? Like, give it a nice Christmas topper.
A Christmas topper. So for the first season, I'll say it was probably a 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5 maybe, just because of all the side plots. Second season, as I told you, because we did cover the second episode, I'm like, oh god, they're going to the side quest again. We haven't really talked much about that except for the last episode with Bill Burr.
Mm-hmm.
Where a lot of people are comparing it as a side quest, but I don't think it was. But overall, I actually give it probably a 4.5 out of 5, where it was very much more story driven than it was a what do you want to call it, like a Western of sorts, where it's just like side quests all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing as how they're kind of toying with that structure, I'm excited to see where season 3 goes. I'm very stoked to see where it goes. I'm curious if season 3 is going to be about Boba Fett and not the Mando at all. Like if season 3 is exclusively Boba Fett exploring his Mandalorian heritage, because apparently he's not, but other people think he is. So,
well, Book of Boba Fett will likely do that, and I believe it's confirmed that they're separate. Mandalorian season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett are going to be separate things.
Okay.
That's
that
good.
wasn't clear. That wasn't clear because like it feels like
that'd be really horrible for them to leave us off like that and then just be like side quest.
It would be, and I wonder, dude. I wonder if the Mandalorian's gonna be as badasses of a bounty hunter as Boba Fett was. Like, is Boba Fett gonna train him in his ways, essentially?
Well, I wonder if I don't think the Mandalorian. I could see him turning into Fat Thor because of this. You know, I could see him being like, I don't want to do anything.
I don't. Yeah.
And from there, he needs to find redemption within the Mandalorian. Figure out his place, because right now he found Grogu's place. He needs to find his place now.
No,
he's a foundling that needs to be found again.
So I wonder then if like he's gonna be living in the town in the first episode with Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna be living there and just chilling out with the sheriff of the town. You know, that's a full Western, man. That's great.
No, I think that's definitely a possibility.
I'm excited to see where this goes, like you said. So
I'd probably go the same with you. I'd probably go 4.5 out of 10, and I'm really excited to see where this goes, and that concludes our Mandalorian Season 2 review. That was fun, dude. I'm glad that we got to cover that. And with that, we are going to close out this chapter of Gaggle of Geeks. Yes, we are still going to be on next week on Christmas Day. It will be a pre-tape. Let's make sure everybody knows that first, I suppose. And we're going to be talking about Christmas movies, so stay tuned for that. Chaz, you just put out an over and under artist exposed. Who is that with this time?
James Morris, who is an actor, writer, and producer for the Witching Season series on YouTube. Well, it was found on YouTube. They recently came out with a feature film, They Live Inside Us, which is based off on their
I've heard of this.
Yes. He's an awesome guy. The franchise is awesome. Definitely check it out on YouTube. It's horror Halloween themed, so I had fun talking with him about how that came to be. So
very cool. Of course, you can check out our reviews. You just put out a review for Greenland. Tonight, I'm going to be watching Promising Young Woman and Soul. So we're going to get some movie reviews coming soon. I'm excited. We're going to be talking about more shit as we get forward. And I guess we should say a happy Christmas now to these people. We're going to be saying it later on, but again, it'll be pre-recorded. So a happy Christmas to all of you. Hope everybody stays safe. If you're going out and celebrating Christmas, just do it with a mask. Don't let Tom Cruise come down your chimney and scream at you. And with that, we will see you at the next review. We have merch for you at tpublic.com/Patrick Beatty Reviews. Whether it be a sweatshirt, a Gaggle of Geeks shirt, whatever you want, check them out, and we will see you at the next review.
Merry Christmas. You're watching the Gaggle of Geeks show, Santa's favorite show. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun